That's the great thing about high school girls. Most of you won't remember that. That's from a movie in the early 80s, Dazed and Confused. Good flick, you go check it out. Alright, this time in my eyes, 14, I'm going to bring you guys up to speed on where I've been for a little bit. I know it's been about 2 months. Well, I had a lot going on. The birth of my second daughter, Lachlan. She was born and we didn't have a home to come home to from the hospital. Our place got flooded, so we had to stay at my mother-in-law's and father-in-law's, and we stayed there for 9 weeks. Thank you to them. It was a big job. They had to tear up all our floors, move everything out, redo all the baseboards and everything. So even though it was a big job, they took their time. I'm sure most people who dealt with insurance companies know where I'm coming from. Now we're back. It's good to be home. In that time, I sold my old truck. I had a black Ford Ranger. It used to be blue with flames on it, and it was all done up. It had smokestacks coming up the back. And I sold that while I was down in Las Vegas watching the Olympia and working at the expo. My wife messaged me a picture of a 1978 Ford Bronco. It's what I've been looking for a couple of years now. It's something I always wanted, but they're hard to find, you know. She messaged me a picture of one. I came home, gave the guy a call. Now it's mine. Here it is here. I love it. It's good for off-road. Anyway, that's that. That's why I've been busy. You know, still going to the gym, still eating my meals. They say this is the off season, or most people call it an off season, but it's not really an off season. You know, you're still on. You're still on your diet. You're still on your training. You're still on your rest and recovery. You know, you're still on your schedule. Sure, you're not supplementing as much and you're taking a little break and, you know, doing some detox. That's good. That's good for your health, and it's only going to help you take 2 steps forward next time. So the problem with that is a lot of people lose motivation in their off season. They don't feel like going to the gym. The same feeling isn't there. They're not getting the pump, you know. They slack off, and then, you know, when you slack off the gym, your appetite's not there, so you're not eating, and then it just, you know, snowballs. I've never really had that problem because I've always loved training to begin. You know, I've always trained hard from day one, without help or anything, so it's not an issue for me. But I see where a lot of guys might have a problem. They started off with that great feeling of being pumped and full all the time, and now they don't have it, so they don't really want to go to the gym. Well, now is the important time because it's going to help develop a lot of things. It's not just going to keep developing your muscle and you know, your nervous system and your ligaments and everything, and keep them strong. It's also going to help develop work ethic, heart, determination, drive, you know, focus. That's the stuff you need. I mean, genetics are great. Genetics alone won't get you there. Genetics plus all that other stuff, work ethic, drive, determination, hard work, that's what's going to get you to the top. So, you know, don't slack off in the off season. I always look at it like this. I always think there's always somebody out there training harder. There's always somebody out there eating a meal. If I miss a meal, I'm thinking that. I'm like, I bet Antoine didn't miss his meal. Or I bet Frank never missed his meal. Or, you know, if I did miss a couple days at the gym, you know what the first thing I hit when I go back is? The hardest, my weakest part. The hardest part that I don't want to train, but it's the weakest part, my legs or something like that. I always do that first. You got to think that way. You got to, I guess, trick yourself maybe for guys, you know, if you don't have any weaknesses, but you got to trick yourself. You got to make yourself believe that there's always room to improve. Well, there is, really. Nobody's perfect, so. The off season, I think is just as important as the on when you're getting ready for a contest. That's what separates the haves from the have-nots. You know, a lot of people like to party, miss meals, miss gym time. It's the off season. I'll train it later. I'll do that later. There's plenty of time. Well, when you don't place where you want to place, think about that. Had you taken it serious then, you might not be asking yourself why I didn't place better. And you know, I don't like to leave any room of doubt or room for error. That's what my trainer told me. This game isn't about maximizing everything. It's about minimizing errors. If you can minimize all the errors, you're better off than trying to maximize everything. And I guess that's true in a way, because look at it like this. When you're on stage, what are you being judged by? You're not being judged by how good you are. You're being judged by how flawless you are. How little flaws you have. So if you have a flaw, that's a point against you. You know, you don't have to be the biggest. You don't have to be the most shredded. It's just total perfect package, and that's what you're going for. You know, the best of everything. And that's the way it is in the off season. You know, minimize the errors. Do it all. That's it, you know. I know this isn't much, but next time on In My Eyes I'll have something a little better to talk about. I just wanted to let you guys know where I've been and what I've been up to, and give you a little something. But that being said, I'm eating my meal, and then I gotta go do some work. So next time, In My Eyes 15, something good for you.